Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Thfc Till I Die and our newly styled program now, the Daily Hotspur, which will give you all the latest news from Tottenham and other things happening in the world of football. Dermot will be along in a minute. It's just been delayed slightly. And yeah, we've kind of got a good bit of stuff to talk about today. We're going to talk about the next 6 or 7 matches. How vital are they to our European ambitions for next season? We're going to have a talk about the timing of the Newcastle match in April, and a little word about praise for Jamie Donnelly that he's been getting for his performances recently. So yeah, so it's an interesting. It's Wednesday afternoon. We have a game coming up in 72 hours. Yeah, 71 hours against Crystal Palace. And just a couple of things that got on my radar over the last couple of days was the Premier League and Sky. Well, actually, Sky seems to dictate everything these days. They gave the TV times and dates for our matches in April, early April. They haven't got as far as the Arsenal match yet. But the one that stuck out for me was the total disregard for the Tottenham fans having to travel to Newcastle to get there in time for a 12:30 kickoff, lunchtime kickoff on a Saturday. Now the trains are hard enough. Usually that's the weekend. The trains don't run for line maintenance and what have you. So I think it's really, really. I was joking the other day about Newcastle having to go to Southampton last season in 12:30. Now this is exactly the same. Tottenham have to go north. So it's a tough one. It really is. It just shows you the lack of consideration for fans that the powers that be that fix these games have. There's absolutely no reason why that game shouldn't be at 3 o'clock or 5:30 even. 5:30 would even be better. At least you have a better chance of getting them. Then you might have a problem with getting home again, but anyway, that's the way it is. Anyway, let's see. There's a few chat's pretty quiet at the minute. We'll just go into it to start off. And Stephen Cartwright is saying, "Good afternoon, lads. Any news on our injured players?" Injury list has decreased rapidly, thank God, over the last few weeks. The way we're hearing it is that Destiny Udogie is back in training, so he will probably be fit for Saturday. I don't think the news is quite so good on Pedro Porro. I think it'll be another week before he's ready. That means he'll be ready for the Villa game. Ryan Sessegnon, the holder of the title thick note at Tottenham, he's taken over from Darren Anderton, has had an operation on his other hamstring, not the one that's been giving him trouble up to now, but this is the other one that went during an under-21 match. So he'll be out probably for the rest of the season with that. But apparently the hamstring that was giving him a lot of trouble will be okay now. And this is a different issue. So possibly we might actually see him play a few games next season. That's if we still have him. They might release him in the summer because, let's face it, he's been the invisible man at Tottenham for the last 4 years or more. So that's the story. And hi, Carl Simpson. Hi, Carl. Good afternoon, Philip and Dermot, when he turns up. Yeah, he'll be here in a minute, I think. Hello to everyone in the chat. How are you, Carl? Hope you're keeping well. And Chris, the Carlisle Stroke Liverpool fan. Hi, Chris. Big up, mate. Hope you're well. I suppose you heard the joke that they're talking about the FA were taking the Carabao Cup off Liverpool because half the squad tested positive for Calpol. So, and there's a few very good ones going around about the Liverpool team players' car park. It's all little kids' bicycles and things, But I have to say, fair play to Liverpool. I know that I'm not one of the greatest fans, but they absolutely defied the odds on Sunday to beat Chelsea. And I don't think any of us wanted to see Pochettino getting a trophy, especially at that particular club. Anywhere else, you might say, yeah, fair enough, but not at Chelsea. Not with the history that we've got between them, Anyway, Chris, looks like you haven't heard that one about the Calpol, Chris. I told it to a Liverpool fan last night. He hadn't heard it. He thought it was serious for a minute. Then he realised what Calpol was. So, yeah. And Carl is saying, I'm good, Philip, just working and listening, nothing fun. Yeah, just talking to Chelsea, not that we spend much time talking about them, but they've got a very tricky cup tie tonight against Leeds at Stamford Bridge. And I would not be one bit surprised to see Leeds turn them over tonight. And that would really put the pressure on Pochettino, losing 2 cups in a week. So that'd be very, very interesting. Like Leicester went down to Bournemouth and won last night. Blackburn came within a penalty kick of beating Newcastle, and they had Dubravka to thank for staying in the cup. And I suppose all we can say is Erling Haaland is back. Like, I know people will say it was only Luton, but to score 5 goals with 4 assists from Kevin De Bruyne, I mean, this is my argument with Manchester City. From now on, they get stronger, and I don't think anybody is going to match them. They're going to go on a roll now. So anyway, that's the thing about that. And Chris is saying Leeds got championship promotion to play for. They have, Chris, but they've won 9 matches on the bounce at the minute. And I know they were very, very lucky to beat Leicester the other night. I mean, Leicester were all over them, but Leeds hung in there and eventually got the most unlikely scoreline. They were 1-0 down after 70 minutes and they won 3-1. And if that game had continued for another 10 minutes, it would have been 5 or 6-1 because Leicester just completely fell apart once Leeds got the second goal. But anyway, we'll see what happens there. And another interesting match tonight is Manchester United going to Nottingham Forest. And while you have to say United will still be marginal favourites to win that game, who's to say that Forest won't turn them over? Be another major shock and another major problem for Ten Hag. I really get the feeling that Jim Ratcliffe doesn't want him anywhere near the club next season, and he'll be gone on his bike, if not before that. If they lose to Forest tonight, I think his position is untenable, but we'll have to wait and see, you know. And still waiting on Dermot. Just a couple of things I wanted to discuss. And this is one now that's cropped up. Obviously, I'd say it's cropped up because of the poor form that Bayern Munich are showing. And it's Harry Kane on his way back. Now, ask the question, would you want Harry Kane back at Tottenham next season? Do you think he'd fit in Ange's way of doing things? Do you think he'd be a bit like a fish out of water? Do you think that the team might go back into their shell a bit? Because certainly last season, it was everything went through Harry Kane. I mean, to score 30 goals in the season for that Spurs team last season was a major achievement. But could he do it under the new style of football that Poch is playing? Ange is playing at Tottenham. So I'd be interested to know your comments on that to see. Now, again, I think this is lazy journalism because I mean, Harry Kane, he's 28 goals. I think he's got to score 14 more, and he's beaten Lewandowski's record for goals for Bayern Munich. Now, I would like to know where Bayern Munich would be without Harry Kane this season. But it appears Tuchel leaving. He was one of the boys that fancied keeping Tuchel, whereas a lot of the dressing room didn't want him. So there's a bit of a split in the squad. It shows in the way they're playing. I mean, they got out of jail again at the weekend there. And it's thanks to Harry Kane that did it. They were drawing until the last minute, and Harry Kane got the winner. So, I think Chris has got a comment that I totally agree with. I think it is lazy journalism. I think people have put 2 and 2 together, and they're probably getting 10. You know, but personally speaking, I really, really don't think he'd fit in at Tottenham the way we're playing at the minute. And I know that's only my opinion. If he came back, I'd welcome him with open arms, but I just don't see it ever happening. You know. Matthew is saying, big up, comrade Philip. Hiya, Matthew. We're in India. And Chris did the comment, yeah, lazy journalism for me. He will stay at Bayern Munich. Yeah, I think we will. And there's another one from Chris. Bayern aren't winning the league. In my opinion, Tuchel has lost in the league. Yeah, do you know something? They haven't done well since Eric Dyer went to them. We blame Eric Dyer, will we? He's blamed for everything else when he was at Tottenham, so might as well keep it going when he's at Bayern Munich. Poor old Eric, I think he'll be on his bike at the end of the season. Although there is conflicting reports they might keep him. He's played a good few games. He's played more than I thought he would actually for them. But he's a player we all love to hate, and I don't know where he's going to end up next season. But I have a feeling that it might not be at Bayern Munich. And Chris is saying again, Dyer loves tripping over his players. Well, I'm still of the opinion the main reason he went to Bayern Munich was to walk Harry Kane's dogs, but anyway, that's only my opinion. And Carl Simpson, I don't think Kane will stay at Bayern. Maybe not. I heard Chelsea was sniffing around him. Now that would be, I'll tell you, Sol Campbell's move to Arsenal would pale into insignificance if Harry Kane signed for Chelsea. I think there would be a riot if that happened, and I honestly don't see it. I think Harry would be too loyal to Tottenham to go to Chelsea. And Carl is saying, not saying back to us, but away from Germany. Yeah. And, he's done very well over there. I mean, he's got 28 goals. It's not to be laughed at. But anyway, it's just, people will say, was he too hasty leaving Ange's ball. Like he was with us for pre-season up to the last game. He saw what was happening. He could have stayed, and if he had stayed, God knows where we'd be at the minute. You never know. And I was fortunate enough to be at the Shakhtar Donetsk game where he scored 4 goals. And at that stage, we didn't know whether he was going or not. We suspected he was going, but it was confirmed to me at the end of the game, after the Spurs players had all left the pitch. Harry walked around the pitch doing and that was it. For me, he knew he was gone at that stage. He wasn't going to do that at the last pre-season friendlies if he was staying. So that's the Harry Kane saga. Just a bit of Irish news as well for anyone that's interested. As you know, we've been searching for a new manager to replace the late lamented Stephen Kenny. Don't say that to Dermot. And we've now come up with an interim manager, the ex-Manchester United defender, John O'Shea, who will be in charge for the next couple of matches. I presume they're hoping to have the full-time manager in place for the England match in September, I think it is. So it'll give them a bit more time. And John O'Shea, I think, has been working in the background for Ireland in the past, so he will know the score. It's just his lack of managerial experience that would worry me a little bit. Like, he's been the background coach, whatever, but never actually the front man and the main man. So good luck to him in the job. He needs it. He'll need it. And that brings us on to Spurs' next 6 matches between the 2nd of March and the 8th of April. Okay, that's just over 5 weeks. We're playing Palace, as we know, on Saturday at home. We then go for what is a real 6-pointer, probably the biggest 6-pointer we've had all season, against Aston Villa away. Then we've got 4 games to me that are eminently winnable. Fulham away, we owe them for the FA for the defeat in the Carabao Cup back in August. Luton at home, although Luton will put up a good fight, but I think that big hammering they got from Manchester City last night might deflate their ambitions a little bit. West Ham away, well, we've got to beat them, haven't we? And then Forest at home. So that's what, 6 games we have, 3 home, 3 away, which is nice to have that. And I reckon we need a minimum of 12, 13 points out of those games. I'm hoping we'll get more. Like, I can see us beating Palace, beating Fulham, beating Luton, and beating Forest. That's 12 points. What we get out of the Villa and West Ham games, which are trickier, like, let's face it, when we play West Ham, it's their cup final. It's their biggest game of the season. It's another match to us, but it's their biggest game of the season. And they'll be up for that. They've been playing very poorly, but they've actually got back into form again there at the weekend when they scored 4 against Brentford on Monday night. So that's the Spurs. That's the Spurs games for the future. Put in the comments though. He's back. He's back.
Hang on, sorry, Philip, I come out.
He's back. He's gone again. Well, come in.
Just give me 5 minutes, Philip. I'll come back very quickly. Sorry.
Right. That was a short visit. Anyway, just put in the comments to think how many points you think we're going to get from those 6 games. Bear that in mind that once those games are over, we have a very tough run against the likes of Newcastle, Arsenal, and Manchester City. Newcastle away, City and Arsenal at home, I think, isn't it? Yeah, home. So that's going to be tricky. And I do not want us to go and wave the red flag at Arsenal, or the white flag at Arsenal like we did last season. We've got to go there and win, or go to our own stadium and beat that lot and finish off their title aspirations, because we do not want to see Arsenal winning the league. We want to see them bottling it like they did last year. So now let's see what else we've got. Yeah, put in the
right,
chat.
How are you? Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Sorry. Yeah, what have you talked about? Because I have got a bit of breaking news.
Yeah, go on. We've talked. I'll tell you what we talked about. We talked about the timing of the Newcastle match, 12:30 on the Saturday. The rumor of Harry Kane's coming back. I just briefly asked people what they think we're going to get out of the next 6 matches, the Spurs, and a bit about Jamie Donnelly to do.
On the Harry Kane, what I've got from our source that he is open to it, but it's all down to who comes in at Bayern. So if Mourinho comes in at Bayern Munich, then he will stay.
Okay.
If they get a manager in that doesn't go to Harry Kane standards, then Harry will want to move back.
Well, Bayern Munich will go for a top manager. They're not going to appoint a
Yeah.
rookie, that's for sure.
But don't rule out him coming. Don't rule out Kane coming back to Spurs. That's what I've been told by our source. Now, our
Right,
source
okay.
is usually quite spot on, Philip, when it comes to these
But
things.
am I right in saying that Spurs have a buyback clause in the contract?
They
with Bayern?
do. It's something
Hmm.
around, I think, I heard somewhere between 50 and 60 million.
Yeah, well,
buyback.
you know, that was drawn up in the anticipation of Harry Kane being at Bayern for 3 or 4 years. I don't think
Yeah.
it was drawn up with the case of him coming back within 1 year. If that was the case, the price would be a lot higher.
So, Eric Dyer as well.
Yeah.
Apparently, to Sky Deutschland, Bayern Munich are happy with Eric
Yeah, I've
Dyer.
heard that. I've heard those mixed reports about him. All right.
Now,
Again, a lot will depend who the new manager is, whether he stays or
yeah,
not.
it is. Who do you think it would be? Look, Mourinho's trying to learn German, so Mourinho's always going to be in the mix there, Philip.
Would it be that
so-
foolish? I mean, Bayern Munich are known as an attacking team. Do they want to go back to that sort of football again? I just don't. I can't see it. I can see the Leverkusen guy, but the pressure being put on him to go there.
Yeah.
Alonso.
Sorry, Philip. I'm trying to. Sorry, I'm trying to put me onto the thing. Oh, doesn't matter. You can see the QR code anyway. I'm not sure about that. Look, out of 10, Philip, how much would you? I don't give a lot of this to rumors. You know, we don't do rumors on here.
No.
We don't clickbait. We don't do rumors. But this one, I think, it's got legs to it. I think this does have legs because Harry Kane is very unhappy. Apparently his family have not settled in Germany.
Yeah.
He's got a young family as well. Just put yourself into Harry Kane's shoes, Philip. If you were Harry Kane and you went with Mrs. Brady with your children when they're his children's age to a different culture, to a different country, you have to learn a different language. Would your family settle there? Do you know what I mean? If you put yourself into Harry Kane's shoes.
It's a very valid point. I was just, as I was saying to the guys earlier on there, I'm not 100% convinced Harry Kane coming back to Tottenham, he would fit into Ange's way of doing things. He might well do. I just don't know. I'd hate to see him come back and disrupt everything and become the main man again, and other players to go into their shells. Because remember, let's face it, that's what happened last season. Everybody was letting Harry Kane do it. You know?
Yeah.
If he came back, I'd be delighted, but I'm not sure if it's the right move, you know?
No. Yeah, and also John O'Shea.
Yeah, I mentioned that
I did
as
a
well.
short on that.
Yeah.
What do you think on that? I can understand the FAI going down that road, but is it the right road to go down?
It's only a temporary road, Dermot. It's only a temporary situation for 2 matches.
Yeah, but
I think listen, they couldn't have gone into the next match without somebody in charge. That would be absolutely diabolical.
Embarrassing.
So what they've done is it'd be embarrassing. I think John O'Shea, he's got no managerial per se experience. He has a lot of experience as a coach, and he's been in the background for the Irish team before. Yeah. So he knows the score. He knows his way around the dressing room. He knows which players are with him, who won't be with him. So, for 2 matches, it's a good enough appointment. But it's what comes after this. That's the important one.
Yeah. And also with England coming up, we have to have a permanent match
before
them.
Exactly. That was my point earlier. We have to have a permanent manager in, and well in advance, not just a week before either. We need him in for. He needs to be appointed as soon as these 2 games are over. We need to get him in then.
Look, who do you think the FAI are looking at? There was another name mentioned today. Paul Clement.
Yeah,
his name's been rumbled in.
He wouldn't be a bad choice either.
Roy Keane's name hasn't gone away, Philip.
No, but it's not really at the forefront of things either. You know, it'll always be in there, but would he want it? I just don't know what Roy Keane wants it. Because Roy Keane would one way he would love that job is to be able to ruffle the feathers of the FAI.
Yeah,
he will be up there backside with that in the handcart.
It's important before England, Philip. We have to get a manager in before that
absolutely.
game. I don't
have him in plenty of time to get his ideas across. He needs to be in by June or July at the latest.
Look, you're a big rugby fan, Philip, and you know what the IRFU are like. Very organised, very well disciplined within their management structures, how they manage rugby as a whole. You look at GAA, how they organise their organisation. I think the FAI have to look at rugby and GA, how they run their organisations, and take some heed for that. Because whatever you say, whatever people say or do, John Delaney has set us back as a soccer nation for a good decade.
Yeah.
He ran, and it's the same at Tottenham as well, Philip. You look at it. Daniel Levy, when Alan Sugar was in charge, Ivan Scholar took us to the near bankruptcy. Alan Sugar had to steady the ship. Daniel Levy's come in, and for the rights or wrongs of it, Philip, has put us onto a higher trajectory of going to another level. So do you understand? Is organisation really important, Philip, to run like the FAI or Tottenham? Is organisation so important?
Well, I'd say the worst run authority in Ireland at the moment, even worse than the FAI, is RTE. There's been enough more that's going on at the minute. But I wouldn't take the GEA. I go after the rugby way of doing things. The GEA is a very political organisation, very political.
Always has been.
Always has been. With a lot of counties getting preferential treatment. I'm not going to mention them, but Dublin are one of them.
Yeah,
you know,
just
that's where all the money
them,
goes.
Philip.
That's where all the money goes.
Them.
No, I won't mention Bristol. Don't mention Bristol. Like, whereas counties like where I live in Leitrim, where I get virtually no. My brother-in-law is involved in the county board here, and he tells me that when Leitrim went to New York to play New York last year, right, and they literally had to beg Central Council for the help with the funding to pay for that trip. That trip cost 6 figures. I forget the exact figure of it, between flights and hotels and everything. It cost a fortune. And Leitrim GA does not generate that type of revenue. Like the game against Wexford 15 days ago, 2 weeks ago, had about 1,200 people at it. So you can't fund. Yeah, they have Dublin playing in Croke Park, getting 50,000 people. So that's the difference in the GA. The rugby is a lot more streamlined, and that's the model I would follow if I was FAI. But then again, anyone that puts John Delaney in charge isn't going to work by the rules. As you say, he literally will be paying for his sins for the next 20 years. We'll be paying for him for the next 20 years. No.
I mean, tomorrow, the Unholy Trinity podcast is going to be a good one, because I'm going to let rip on that one. And I'm going to let people to watch it, because Mr. Brady's reins are being loosened.
They're taking the gag off. They're taking the gag off.
Yeah, taking the gag off. You and Dave Harris and myself, we worked out that I'm the Holy Spirit. I'm Moses. You're like the Holy Spirit. I mean, you're the one that helped me part the seas. And Dave is, I don't know who Dave could be.
Oh,
St. Paul?
Don't know.
Judas.
There has to be a Judas. There has to be a Judas in there somewhere. So.
Oh, Carl can be Judas. We'll give Carl the 30 pieces of silver. Anyway, let's see who's in the chat, Philip. Carl, do you want to read them out, and I'll bring them up?
I've done up to this one here, I think. Let's see. I'll go down to
which one are you at, Philip?
Yeah, I'm just going back up to it now. Oops, hang on.
So I know where you are.
I'll go back up. My laptop is not great with these cards. Here we are now. Hold on now. Okay. Carl, I asked how many points Spurs will get out of the next 6 matches. Okay. Chris reckons 14 to 18. Take that. Would.
Did you read Carl's one? Oh, you probably
no.
did.
I'm coming to it now. Chris is saying big up Dermo, and Carl is saying big Eric is well liked at Bayern, and with their defensive injuries, he's taking full advantage. Yeah, he still has the turning circle of the Titanic though, and that's not going to go down well. Eventually, he'll be caught out eventually, you know.
He will be.
And DJ Samuel.
I'll bring them up, Philip. You just I'll bring them up in you.
DJ is saying, "Good morning, afternoon. Bart is back in town."
Yeah. I asked for, but he had Ghost Rider yesterday, Philip. I asked for him to bring back Bart, so I'm happy Bart's back.
Bart, yeah, I see him there, yeah. And Chris is saying, I've seen Bayern are still contracted to Nagelsmann, and that he's only on gardening leave to manage Germany at Euros. Don't know if that's true. Yeah, I did hear there was gardening leave involved now. All right, but I think that maybe not so he didn't go to another club, not so much the national team, you know.
Yeah. I think Germany are going to win Euro 2024 anyway.
Probably will, Probably will. Probably, good team. And Carl Simpson again. Also, every time Bayern lose, the fans go straight at him, being greedy and not caring about the club, just himself. Is that who are we talking about there? Harry Kane or Eric Dyer?
Probably Harry Kane.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, he's greedy because he didn't set Thomas Muller up there for a chance last weekend, but strikers are greedy by nature. They have to be. You know, it's just the nature of the game. You know,
you look at Gary Lineker. He was greedy, but he wasn't that greedy, but he was a predator when it comes to 6 yards.
But he could spot a pass if that was a better option, you know. And Eltel is saying, "Afternoon, Dermot and Philip, and all you lovely people in the chat. How are you, Eltel?"
Big up, Eltel. Congratulations on reaching 200 subs, by the way, Eltel, last night. Big up.
Very good, very good. That's good.
Congratulations.
Good. And Chris is saying, O'Shea's only good for interim basis. For me, you need a permanent manager. Yeah, that's we're going to get. Hopefully, we'll have one after these 2 matches. But it's a good move to put him in, to have somebody in the place for the 2 matches. You can't go into international matches with no manager. You've got to have somebody in charge.
My fear, Philip, if he does well in these 2 friendlies, they might keep him in.
I don't think so.
That's my fear.
I don't think so. I really don't. I think they'll be aiming higher than that. They have to aim higher. DJ Salmon said, spelling mistake. I mean, good afternoon, Bart back in town. Oh, well, you know. And Carl Simpson, let me guess, Wexford lost. Well, they did actually. Yeah, they did by a point.
Yeah, so did Mayo lost as well. You know, but we could still win the All Ireland. Mayo for the All Ireland this year.
Hopefully. And
even the Leitrim fan is back in Mayo for All
Ireland. Well, listen, they're part of the same province here. We're not going to win it, so we like Mayo or Galway to win it. Yeah. The Unholy Trinity, aka the 3 Amigos. It could be the 3 Stooges, either. You wouldn't know.
Can I just say, Philip, come up with a name? I've got to do a thumbnail for that, but I'm thinking of. I need your photo, Philip. I need Dave's photo.
Yeah,
right? I'm gonna put halos over our heads if I can. I'm trying to work it out like it's.
Well, no, you've got to have horns out of one of us now. We can't all be good, you know. Yeah.
No, I'll give you the horns.
Oh yeah, good. That's great. That's great. Nice. I'll send you a picture later on. Yeah. And Carl Kane,
Kane. He was on about Kane. I think Kane gets a bit of a rough stuff at Bayern Munich, to be fair.
You know, I don't know. You know, he's 28 goals this season, and they're giving him stick. Jesus Christ!
Because he's English.
God help Richarlison if he ever went to Bayern Munich.
But seriously, is it because Kane's English? You know what the Germans in English are like? Is it because he's English?
It's a case of don't mention the war. I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it. You know, yeah, possibly. You know, possibly. It's although I've been in Germany quite a few times, and I always found the people in northern Germany, Berlin and around there, are very, you know, stiff upper lip and not that friendly.
Yeah.
But down in Munich, they're very friendly. It's they're 2 different countries, so I don't know what the problem is down there.
Yeah.
No
problem.
Maybe they haven't forgiven him for beating Germany when he was playing for England a few years ago. I don't know. Anyway, Paul Clement. Yeah, that's possible. That's a very strong possibility, Carl.
I still want 2 Kings, Philip.
I just want Ireland. But Dermot,
I want the FBI to be ruthless. I want them to be. Do you know what? Bugger it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's just roll the dice with Roy Keane and Robbie Keane and Roy Keane, and just roll the dice and go for it. Because you know yourself, Philip, wearing the Ireland jersey, it's the most proudest moment in anybody's footballing career.
It should be, yeah. It should be. Yeah,
if you and me, look, even you, Philip, if you would say, right, you're going to play for Ireland against England, you would go out there as proud as punch wearing that jersey. You know, and you would give 150% because you're playing for your nation.
I played for Birmingham Schools when I was 10, and I still have the badge. I played in that game, so that's I took that's it's not much, but that was my achievement. So I can take your point. Playing for Ireland, you should be proud as punch.
The rugby crowd get it.
The
rugby people get it.
Yeah.
The soccer team. When do you think that went wrong, Philip? Do you think it went wrong after Mick McCarthy, Jack? Mick McCarthy? Do you think it went wrong after Trapattoni or Martin O'Neill? Where do you think Ireland lost their way? We all know it's John Delaney's fault, but
John Delaney is at fault. It's not all his fault, Dermot. like a lot of it, it's the old thing I keep bringing up. With all the foreign players coming into the game, that we haven't got the production line coming through from the lower leagues like we used to have. You know, those players are all been. So that's another. Our talent level has dried up a lot. You know, okay, we've got some good guys like Adam Ida and Ogbene. They're good guys to have, but there's not enough of them. There's not enough of them, and that's the problem.
And that goes down to funding, Philip. That goes down to.
It goes down to funding, and it goes down to scouting, and it goes down to not realizing this guy can play for Ireland before he gets playing for Wales or Scotland or England. You know, but we could have Harry Kane. Harry Kane qualifies for Ireland. You know,
I know. It's like Jack Grealish and Declan Rice.
Yeah. Well, they're two traitors now. They're traitors.
Yeah, and the point is, we got them, and it's like, okay, we're not going to qualify anything for Ireland. So playing for Ireland doesn't mean nothing to me. I'll go and play for England because I'm going to get to a major tournament. But I think getting to a major tournament with Ireland is more of an achievement than it is getting one with England.
It is, but those two guys knew by going to England they would get the major. Like England always qualify. Always qualify. Well, nearly always anyway. Apart from a rare one, but they see a much clearer path to glory playing for England than they do for Ireland. That's why they've done it.
Do you get my point? Do you know it is? It's like Tottenham winning, Harry Kane winning something with Tottenham instead of winning something with Bayern Munich. It's more of you will feel more of achievement winning something if you stick with it. Yeah. Eventually, you're gonna win something.
Well, Harry Kane's not going to get any medals this season. Harry Kane's getting nothing this season. Like Leverkusen not going to bottle the league like Dortmund did last year.
No way.
So his trip over to Germany to get a title has come to nothing. And you know, it's just a pity we're not still in the FA Cup, because it would be ultimate irony if Spurs won the FA Cup this season. Harry Kane wasn't in after him leaving to win trophies.
I think the ultimate irony would be that if Tottenham qualify for the Champions League, score more goals without Harry Kane in the side.
Yeah, well, that's very possible.
Which is going to happen.
Because you look at those next 6 matches, Dermot. There's only one match against the top 16.
Yeah, I've got them here, Philip. I bought them.
You know, they're very winnable matches. They really are. If we put our mind down to it, you know.
Yeah,
this is the time 2 years ago we started becoming good under Conte.
Yeah.
So let's do the same now under Ange.
I mean, this is them here, Philip. Look, we'll go back to the comments in a minute, guys. But if you look at Tottenham's their next 5 fixtures, Philip, right? And we've got Luke, and then we've got another game on today. But you look at March, they're winnable games.
Yeah. I said that. Yeah, absolutely. Villa is the toughest one. But Villa have been turned over a few times at home lately, so they're not invincible. You know?
No.
We need to be up for that game, though. We need to be really up for that match.
You look at Southampton, you look at Liverpool, FA Cup, Europa League. You look at Man City, Champions League and FA Cup, Philip. So there's extra matches we don't have to play.
That's right. We're one game a week. We're 1 game a week now. They're 2 games a week.
You look at Arsenal, Champions League. You look at Villa, Europa League. And if you look at, say, Man City's next games, they've got Luton, in which I tell you one thing, I watched that Newcastle-Blackburn game last night, Philip. Well, I saw the second half and then extra time. But by Jesus, fair play to Blackburn. They should not go down in the Championship. They rarely outplayed Newcastle.
Yeah, it was on in the background. I saw bits. I think Dubravka kept Newcastle in it on a couple of occasions.
He did.
Yeah.
But you look at Man City, right? Luton, they won 6-2 in the FA Cup, which is sort of, we're going to win it. Everyone wins at Luton. They got United on Sunday.
Yeah, but nobody scores 6 goals.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
You got Man United at home, Manchester derby.
Well, that could go either way. City can do us a massive favour there by winning that game.
But
that puts United way behind us if we beat Palace. You know.
Yeah. You look at derbies, Philip. Either it's the North London derby, the Manchester derby, or the Everton derby.
Look who United's next league game is against after. Oh, no, it's City. Sorry, it's Liverpool. That's going to be a cracking match. City and Liverpool.
Yeah, it is. Copenhagen, and that makes me laugh. Man United couldn't beat Copenhagen. Man City rock up there and score 3 against them.
Yeah, I know.
Which is, who do you think has got the better March, Philip? If you look at all the fixtures, I think we have the better March, actually.
We're not bad. We're not bad. Liverpool, okay, Southampton, Forest, then Man City. That's tough. City have got United and Liverpool. We've got Palace, Villa, Fulham, Luton. The ultimate optimist in me would say if we can beat Villa, right?
Yeah.
We go on a run and win all those games. And if that's the case, we get 18 points from those 6 matches. We are in Champions League territory, big time.
Yeah. Look, I still think third's unachievable. I do for
an outside bet for me now.
I said at the start of the season, top 3 would finish, and I'm sticking by that.
Well, I admire your optimism, but the problem I would see now is Spurs become Spursy and lose to Fulham and Luton or something like that. Then we're going to be back in the doldrums again, scrapping it out to get in the Europa League.
Well, we didn't qualify for Europe at all last season, so qualifying for the Europa League is an achievement within itself.
Yeah, it is. Well, let's basically we should have the points that we dropped last season against Southampton, Bournemouth at home, and whatever. That was scandalous. It cost us Europe last season.
Yeah. Well, just look at Man City, United, Liverpool, Brighton. Liverpool have got Nottingham Forest, and then they've got Man City in the league. Arsenal have Sheffield United, Brentford, Chelsea, and Man City.
That's tough.
Now, the Man City game and Chelsea game. Now, will Poch be in charge for the Man City game? We don't. If they lose to Leeds tonight,
they lose tonight.
Yeah, and the draws tonight as well for the FA Cup as well.
Is it? All right. Okay.
Yeah. Villa have got Luton, Tottenham, and West Ham. Ajax.
I can tell you who Man City will get already. Man City home to Coventry. What do you see? But mark my words.
Man United then have got Forest tonight in the FA Cup. Man City, Everton, Sheffield United, Brentford. Not easy games, and Everton at home scrapping for their lives. Sheffield United could spring a surprise at Old Trafford. And then they've got City and Brentford away. I think we've got the better March. I really do.
Villa are not too bad, really. Luton, apart from us and West Ham, they're not too bad.
But they got Europe. That's the point I'm making.
The beautiful thing for us is Villa are playing on Thursday night in Europe, and we're playing them Sunday lunchtime. So there's not much time to recover from that, which is good.
What we got here? We've got DJ Samuel saying, need to get my hands on Tottenham versus. Well, DJ, I'm going to it, and I can't wait to go to it. So if you're going, I'll see you there. But if you go to the Burnley game, Mr. Brady will be there.
Yeah.
He's going go-karting and everything. He's going go-karting and everything. When's your stadium tour, by the way?
Oh, this is the gas thing. My stadium tour is on the 21st of April. And then I'm back over it again on the 11th of May for the Burnley game, So
can you do me a favor? Can you do some videoing for the channel around that stadium tour? What you can do.
Oh yeah, I'm going to do the whole lot.
And if you can, whoever you get, can you get an interview for them for the channel?
It's Aussie Idealers.
Just get him to say something. Just big up to everyone on THFC till I die, or something like that for us.
Well, I've actually got. I was at a Spurs do in Dublin a few years ago, and I got a picture taken with Aussie Idealers. I'm going to take it with me. Say, Aussie, I met you before in Dublin. Can you,
Well, get him to say hello to our subscribers here on THFC.
The wife's coming with me on the tour, so she can do the video while I'm talking to Ozzy.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you, Mrs. Brady. Mrs. Tron and Mrs. Brady, the unsung heroes of THFC till I die.
Yeah, that's it.
That get her in the good. That get us in the good books. Yeah. Well,
she's not listening.
They actually run the channel.
I'm not being heard here.
Philip, yeah, they run the channel. Me and Philip are just woolly rags, really, just to have to do the hard work. Anyway, Chris says Bale got stick at Real Madrid too. So true.
Yeah, that's true. It took a while though. He was good at the start. It's only the end.
It's because he played for Spurs, and that stupid Spursy rubbish. I know. See, Horner Christian Horner has been cleared the Red Bull investigation. They've cleared him. He said he did nothing wrong.
Okay. Nice.
So I'm very surprised over that, and all the I was surprised when these allegations came out, but I'm really pleased he's been proved innocent. I really like Christian Horner. I like him as a team principal. I like him the way he's organised Red Bull, and it's properly organised. And if you organise an organisation properly, it will bring you success. And this is what's coming to Tottenham. We're properly organised. It's going to bring us success.
Yeah. Pardon me. I'm shifting. No, I'm shifting. I had to play 4 hours solid last night. My back is killing me today.
Carl Simpson, FAI haven't got the balls to appoint Roy Keane.
Yeah, you're probably right, Carl. You're probably right.
Yeah, probably I haven't. Here we go. Read these few up here, Philip.
Ellie, hi Ellie. Big up Dermot and Philip, proud Irishman. You'll never beat the Irish. That's true. Never. Unless you're in different sport like hockey or what else is there?
You don't beat us in any sport.
We're hard to beat. And DJ saying, I'm a proud half Irishman. There you go. Very good. Carl Simpson, look at Chelsea. Oh, wait, don't worry. Yeah. I tell you, I'd be surprised. I'm feeling there's a big shock coming up with Leeds tonight in that cup game. I told you, but Leicester beat Bournemouth, and they did. Now, it's Chelsea £1 million blue bottle jobs. Yeah. I was just telling the lads that before you come on there, Dermot, that one of the Liverpool fans does the sound for us in Dublin, and he came in last night. I says, PJ, they have to take the Carabao Cup off Liverpool. He says, what? He says, yeah. He says, half the team tested positive for Calpol.
That's a good one.
He thought it was being serious for a minute,
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah.
Big up Talking Beer.
Talking Beer. Hiya, morning, fellas. Wayne is saying, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all having a damn fine day. Coys. How are you, Wayne?
Coys.
Porro and Odoji are back for Palace. Is this true? Odoji, yes. Not so sure about Porro.
Yeah. No, they're both back.
Well, they're both back. Oh, hallelujah.
They're both back.
Hallelujah.
That's why I called the stream the Fab Five are back together.
Yeah. I wasn't sure about Porro. I thought he might be another game out, but no, that's great.
Yeah.
You know something? If we had them back against Wolves, we would have won that match.
Yeah.
No problem. The ladies are the brains behind the operation. Yeah, we'll not disagree with them that, especially when they're listening.
No. Yeah.
And so
we're getting a bollocking.
Big up.
Yeah, it is. Now, Philip, what else are you talking about? Because you put this show together.
Just a quick. Jamie Donnelly is coming in for massive praise after his performance at the weekend. Like, I know Will Lancashire scored the hat trick, but Jamie Donnelly had 4 assists. First time it's happened in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, apparently. He's been compared to Julian Alvarez, which is, I'll tell you one thing, it's some comparison. So this is, I think, what's going to happen with Jamie Donnelly is next season, Troy Parrott will be sold, and Jamie Donnelly will be playing in the squad next season.
Yeah,
because the guy is a real talent. He really is. He's along with Lucas. I can never remember his surname. The young Swedish kid that's coming in. Bergville, whatever. Anyway, we know who he is. We are going to have one of the youngest and most exciting squads in the Premiership next season. That's why I keep saying,
we are.
Next season, we are going to do things.
We are. I watched a lot of the under-21s and under-18s. So I leave the highlights like on YouTube, and some of their games are unreal.
Well, they're 10 wins and one draw and 11 matches in the league. They're top of the league by a good bit.
We are. This is my point. Use the kids. Start using them.
Yeah, well,
because a lot of them are outgrowing.
Donnelly, I think Donnelly's going to get in. Bergville. Those two are going to be in the squad next season.
Yeah,
possibly.
There's one thing about Alex Ferguson. You can criticize him all you want. People don't like him. It's a love and hate relationship with him because
I'd never criticize Ferguson. I think Ferguson was the best manager ever in the Premiership. That's my opinion.
But he used to bring kids in ahead of the established first teams players, and he was right to do so. He used them in the league.
Would he get away with it now, Dermot? Though, when things have evolved, that's 30 years ago. Would he get away with it? I have no problem with 1 or 2 young lads coming in, but any more than that, I think it's a huge risk.
I still see. This is why I disagree with you. I still think if Alex Ferguson was manager now, if he had a class of '92 now, he would still get the same success as he did back then because he'd done it the right way. Other clubs don't use their kids, and Philip is going to come to it with FFP, where clubs not being able to fight to buy players, where teams going to have to cut back on their transfer expenses. that they're going to have to start using their academies. They're going to have to start using the kids. And the only way kids are going to get experience is by putting them in the first team, by putting them into high-pressure matches. It's the only way you're going to find if they're going to sink or swim.
But you're not going to win.
Not every kid's going to work out at the highest level.
Any team that plays
it is a case of these kids have to be used.
But you're never going to win. Any team that plays a load of kids is never going to win the league. That's just, really. Let's face it. There's going to be enough strength in depth in other teams to outdo the kids. I've nothing about bringing one or two of them on, but not any more than that at the same time. Blood them two at a time, and maybe get 4 or 5 of them done during a season, so you know where they're at. Jamie Donnelly's already played 4 times for the first team this season, so he knows what to expect when he gets up there. I'd like to see the likes of that young Santiago fella brought in. When he wants. But he hasn't made the squad yet. So
no, the thing is, Philip, look, we all know academies are there to be used. If you don't use your academies, then what's the point of having an academy? What's the point of putting all the money into getting these youngsters from 9, 10 years old and getting them trained up and going through the different things if you're not going to use them at the end of the day?
Yeah, well, I mean, not every I don't know what the percentage rate is. We seem to sell on an awful lot of our young players, we do. Rather than making the grade. Now, I think what Ange has done this season, Ange has come in and he's paid particular attention to the academy. I think he's told the guys in the academy, you bring these players on and I'll use them at some stage. Yeah. Not just yet, maybe next season.
Yeah. Did you see the article that was written about what he's been compared to Alex Ferguson, what he done at Old Trafford when he came into United?
Oh yeah, I know. And look, I think Mourinho and Conte couldn't give a shit about the academy. It was never there. They let the grass grow in it. There was no interest. Ange is different. Ange is different.
Yeah. Look, look. We will do this, Philip. But you look at Man United over the last 30 years. They've had the most successful academy in the whole of the Premier League. If it comes to promoting the youngsters from academy to first team football and to international, United have been well in front of that for years. Liverpool now are well in front. You look at what Liverpool put out on Sunday against Chelsea. You look at the way they're using their academy. Clubs won't be able to spend 100 million or 200 million every summer, Philip.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It may change in seasons to come. It may well do. But it's going to be done on a gradual basis. It's not going to be. They're not going to ditch the first team and play 11 kids all of a sudden. It's going to be done gradually.
That'd be delusional to do.
No, it's going to be done gradually. I'm saying do 2 or 3 at a time, and then bring them on that way.
You look at
I'm not just using the kids, but I don't want them used. I don't want them all thrown in the deep end at the one time. Do it systematically.
Yeah, I know, but they've got to know if they're going to sink or swim at that high level. You're never going to know.
That's true. That's the beauty of competitions like the Carabao Cup. I know we took it to an extreme back in August by playing nine non-first teamers and getting beat. But they're the kind of competitions where these guys will learn the trade of playing Premiership teams.
That Fulham game, we never used any of the academy. It was all people within the squad.
But still 9 changes, we were brutal that day.
Does that still gripe you? We did that earlier in the season.
Yeah, it does. I was up in Donegal on holidays at the time, and I was sitting in the pub listening to the scores come in, and I was getting this. I had to go outside. I was that angry that we lost that match. Really was. I was so angry.
Yeah, but he was right in what he said. When was he going to use them other players?
True, but they didn't. They should have grasped it. This is my big chance, but they didn't.
Yeah. And you look when you use an Eric Dyer and Davis at centre back against Wolves. Yeah. You look, it didn't work. So,
that's true.
I still advocate that we should have put the kids in, one of them at least in the centre back role. I still think we should have done that. I still think that was a trick
too
missed.
late now. Come here, I'm just after sending you my passport photograph there, so you can put horns on it.
I will do. I find horns. That's it. Oh Jesus, you look like. I tell you one thing, Philip. That picture, that's what you put on Crime Watch or What's the name of the? What's the name of the thing on
I should be
RSP?
holding a card there with a number on it, you know.
Yeah, it should be. Philip, you look like no offense, you look like a Jaffa Cake kingpin.
Read my lips.
You do. You do look. You want the name numbers in front of you, right? You do look like you took.
Well, it looks
did you
good
get
on their
that done at the
passport
guard
photograph
station?
anyway. Jesus, you can't even
Yeah, but
smile on us, you know.
Yeah, but did you get that taken at the Garda station?
No. I'll tell you what happened.
You sure?
I sent in me, when you hear this now, I sent in my passport application online 10 days ago, right? I did the wife the next day, right? She got hers in 3 days. I get an email from them yesterday stating we're having some discussion, some difficulty in finding out what county you were born in. Because my other passport put a Belfast on it, and now I have to put the county Antrim. So somebody genius in the passport office can't work out the Belfast in County Antrim. So I still have no passport now. Anyway,
I will use that picture, Philip, but that is.
Yes, thanks, Dermot. Yeah,
I've never seen you looking so.
Yeah?
It's without glasses as well, Philip. You don't look yourself.
Yeah, I know. I can't put glasses on the passport photo.
I swear, not Crime Watch. It does. That's them pictures that come. Have you seen this man?
Yeah.
Wait to see my. I'll show you my passport later as well. Yeah, take a laugh.
Like, did you ever see the one Dougal Maguire shows his passport photograph in Father's Day?
Now, Philip,
about a 3-month-old baby. Huh?
Yeah.
Who's the biggest joker? It is Pedro Porro, apparently.
Yeah, it is.
Apparently, nobody's safe when he's around. You know, it's good to have it, though. It builds up a good team spirit, you know.
It does.
And I can just imagine Porro. He seems to be a real live wire, you know, around the place.
Look, I've watched a few videos. He was always joking around. It's good to have them in the pack. When you're going through a bad run, that's when you need your jokers in the pack to do that. Do you want to go through some of these comments then, Philip?
Yeah,
that's about it, I think, isn't it?
Can I just say this on a personal basis? You know the lads I play in the band with in Dublin?
Yeah.
One of them released a single last week, and it made it to #1 on the iTunes chart.
Wow.
Dublin. Yeah. And you know who's #2?
Who? You.
Beyonce. So we were slagging him last night, and he beat Beyonce, and it was only there for a day, but at least he has the picture of himself at #1 on the chart. The slagging he got last night was something unreal. Hello, are you there?
Sorry, there's just a bit noise, so I mute myself, so it doesn't come through.
Sorry.
That's all right. There you go. There we go. We'll do it from there, Philip.
Yeah, Bergval, that's him. I can never think of that guy's name. Anyone who hasn't seen the video of him in action at the weekend, have a look at it. It's something else. Jamie Donnelly was bowling out all over the pitch the other day. No one could get near him. He was unbelievable. Some of the passing he did was incredible. Carl Simpson saying over, over and out. Yep, it's not sunny. And Carl Simpson, we have some very exciting players coming through, exciting, and we have actually. We've probably the best academy we've had in years now, and that's down to Ange taking an interest in it. And Chris Wells love it when they disagree. Wait till you see tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
If he had the class of '92 now, Sir Alex would have a well off.
I meant now.
I know what he means.
Yeah. Well, poor old Carl doesn't know what I mean, but
he's only
get
joking.
with the script, Carl. Get with it.
And what else have we got? Yep, from Sonny. Just a harmless potato is in the house. Good afternoon, lads. Oh yeah. And Carl says all the clubs sell on the youth players. The clubs realise that if they don't make it there, it's 100% profit elsewhere. Well, that's true. Yeah, I've seen a lot of young players leaving Spurs for an undisclosed fee. In other words, £2.50. You know? Carl is saying it was one of Ange's only mistakes. Yeah, that's Fulham. I think we're talking about there. Yeah. Dermot has Tom got his.
To be fair, no. This is a very serious Philip Brady. A very serious Philip Brady.
No,
it's like It looks like a picture to get into the Doyle. That's what it looks like. Looks like a government picture of your 006.5. Picture.
What's this?
Jolly short. You're just short of the big time.
Yeah, let's see what else we got.
Philip, I'm just bringing them up.
Yeah,
sorry.
DJ Sam was saying crime watch. Yeah, true enough. Yeah, Dermot would have you believe that anyway.
Over here, is it?
Leslie Crawford saying you can make 3 or 4 changes, but keeping the spine of the team. You never need to make 9 changes in one go. Yeah, like my idea would be to bring in 2 youngsters in the game, 1 in defence, 1 in midfield or attack, but not 2 in the same position because it's putting too much responsibility on them.
Yeah. Look, you can make 3 or 4 changes. I agree with that. And I've never said about making 9 changes, but we've got to start using them. We've got to start getting them experience.
Mm.
And this is the thing. If they don't get experience when we do need them, they're not going to have the experience. You look at the Liverpool quadruple that came on against Chelsea. They
had to. That's because nobody left to play. That was
I know they had nobody left, but they had the experience of coming onto it. And also, I'd say it again, Philip, they had no fear.
No, as I said, you can either sink or swim in a situation like that, and they actually swam. Fair dues to them, you know. They give them credit for that.
Chelsea had a lower age, 23 age lower than Liverpool side at the time, but these are £100 million players.
£100 million bottle jobs, you mean?
I would love to know the valuation between the Liverpool side that finished that cup final on Sunday and the Chelsea side that finished that cup final on Sunday.
That's true.
What the valuation is of each side.
Yeah, true.
Our goalkeeper as well, Keller, he done brilliant on Sunday. It's good for us as well because Bazuma is injured. At least we know we've got a good backup.
Yeah, Keller. There's talk about he might go to Celtic next season to replace Joe Hart.
He
deserves first team football because he's only on the bench at Liverpool most.
Is Brendan Rodgers going out of the club as well?
Oh, he might do if Celtic don't win the league. Yeah.
Chris is just laughing. He's just laughing. That's all he's doing. He's laughing. He's sitting there with the giggles.
That's only decided which country you represent, Northern Ireland or England. Oh God, I don't know actually.
If you had any sense, you go to Northern Ireland.
Wonder could we get him?
I think we can.
I don't know what his.
Dave said to me the other night, we have to start using the granny rule again.
Oh yeah, that's from FAI to find another Irishman. Yeah.
Well, that's what Jack Charlton used.
Oh no, and look at how well that worked out for us. But they were players that would never have got into the England team. You know, they were good players, but they weren't just that good. But he groomed them into being that good.
Their family from Donegal. So John Aldrich's grandfather was Irish.
Yeah.
Paul McGrath. Oh, he was born in Ireland.
He was Dublin.
Paul McGrath doesn't know which county he's in half the time.
Oh dear.
Sorry, Philip. Just read this through because I'm finding it a bit hard to hear you. Sorry.
Okay. We've done that one. Has Donnelly decided which country to represent? Don't know. Any transfer news? Well, there won't be really. You know, we're now in a transfer black zone until July. So there's rumours Harry Kane's coming back. There's rumours we're looking for Neto from Wolves, but it's all rumour at the moment. There's nothing concrete. So, and Carl is saying, Leslie, don't think he has made up his mind yet. Yeah, that's Donnelly. He'd probably go for England because it's probably where he get the better chance. Brian Maguire, what do you think of O'Shea as temporary Ireland manager? It's probably as good as it could get at the moment. He's got some experience with the team. He'll not be there full time. He's an interim stopgap, and that's really it. And good luck to him. He needs it.
Yeah, I'm the same with you, but I don't want the FAI to use this as an excuse, Philip, when the after them games. Oh, he's done brilliantly.
No, they won't. I don't think so, Dom. I don't think so.
We get two decent results. Philip, you just don't know what they're thinking.
Well, I'm just saying, I think they'd be very foolish if there was other better candidates on the horizon to go that route. We'll see. We'll find out in the summer, but let's just hope that he does well for this. Huh?
Look at Ryan Mason. He came in for 2 games and got the gig to the end of the season. When Mourinho
but it's slightly different. Like international games are not as frequent as the Premiership matches. We had to get somebody in for those games because it's a game every week. This guy's got 2 matches and that's it.
The question I would love to ask the FAI and the chief executive of the FAI, how come it's taken them this long just to come to this decision? They could have done that.
They were looking down the back of the couch, going to find €20. That's probably why I had to pay him.
But no, I'm being serious. How come it's taken them this long? We've got friendlies next month. How come it's taking them this long? Or
they
hang
did
on,
go
lads.
through the process. Neil Lennon was interviewed. Chris Coleman was interviewed. They were interviewing candidates. Haven't come up with one that either wants the job or one they feel they can offer it to. So that's why we've got to here now. It's an interim stopgap.
Anyone in their right mind would take this job.
Do you think so?
I think so. I still think it's a job that's worth taking. I still think it's one of the jobs you would take.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a bit of a no. It's a poison chalice, really. Unless you can come in and reverse the results that Kenny was getting. You know.
At least it didn't go back to him, which at one point there was a rumor that he was being talked around again. Did you see him? He says he wasn't given a fair crack at the whip managing Ireland.
He wasn't given a fair crack. Yeah, he was. He should have got a crack of the whip over the head.
Yeah. Okay. Carl, if you need to go for the puck and finish off
I
these.
still have some work to do here at 5 o'clock. So
yeah.
Well,
listen, I'm sorry.
I'll send you later. No, it's okay. No panic. I'll chat to you later. And
I'll speak to you later. Yeah. Big up, Philip. And sorry for being late again. And thank you so much for starting. Thanks. So there goes Freddie. I'll just go through these comments here, guys, and then I will end off there. Leslie's saying, Carl, cheers. He would get plenty of game time alongside Bradley in the Northern Ireland team. Yeah, he would, Leslie. That is for sure. Carl says, I think Donnelly will choose England. No, has not played for Northern Ireland since the beginning of 2022. I think anyone that chooses to play for England national side, I think you're taking the easy route. That's if you've got options to play for Ireland or Northern Ireland or Scotland or Wales, and you've got an opportunity to play for them, and you pick England because you know England are going to qualify for a tournament 9 out of 10 times. I think it's more of an achievement if you pick one of the other nations, especially the home nations in Ireland, and to qualify with them. It's more of an achievement. I think you would feel more you've achieved something instead of going for the easy route, which is playing for England and qualifying for a tournament anyway. And so I don't know. I like Declan Rice and Jack Grealish. We bought them through the Irish system, and then when the crunch came to it, oh, sorry, we're going to play for England now. Why? We bought you through. The FAI put all the money into your development. They put the money into you going through the under 18s, the under 16s, 18s, under 21s. And you think, well, hang on a minute. These crowds are not going to qualify, but I'll go over across the water and they'll qualify for every tournament, and I'm happy as Larry. And it's all down to money as well. They get more money playing for England than you would playing for Ireland, Scotland, Wales, or Northern Ireland. So I still think you should be proud to play for your country. You should. If you're Irish, you shouldn't be able to change to play for another national team because A, you're getting more money, and B, because you know you're going to qualify. And I still think there should be a law put in to stop people doing that. And I just very, very Jack Grealish and Declan Rice are the traitors they are traitors. They've turned their back on their country and decided to go to another country. Oh, I'm going to play there because I'm going to get more money, and I'm going to qualify for tournaments easier. And they're traitors, and I hope they get a good reception when Ireland play England. Hope them boot the hell. Donnelly was born in Antrim. Yeah, so Northern Ireland. I know he can play for England technically. But I still think if you're born in Northern Ireland, you play for that country. You play for that national side. I don't care what anyone says. Michael McDonald says Rogers it's odds to Dubai for his share of the blood money. Yeah, that's true. I've heard that as well, Michael. Letty said the Granny Rule drank Guinness. He can play for the Republic of Ireland. Look, we did very well with the Granny Rule back in the Jack Darton's times and Mick McCarthy's times. We've done extremely well. We had players that made us qualify for major tournaments: 88, 1990, 94, 2002. And I don't care what anyone says. England have not beaten Ireland in 33 years in any competitive international game. Friendlies, you beat us 3-1 at Wembley. But competitively in international qualification or international tournaments, Ireland have got a better record. And I still think after the Nations League game on the 7th of September, England still won't be able to beat Ireland. Because I think Ireland will be up for that. We'll have a new manager in. And I tell you one thing, get the Aviva crowd behind them boys in green, and we will turn England over. And we will show Declan Rice and Jack Grealish what it means to be Irish, what it means to play for your country, what it means to put on that green jersey and stand out and sing the Irish anthem. And it means something. And it does mean something. So, if, Dave went off to play for another country, was down to them. But don't come crying to us when you think, oh, I want to come back now. Sod off. You didn't want to play for us in the first place. You can fuck off. Wayne Bonner says, Celtic never should have brought Rodgers back. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Very overrated manager. I don't see him as good. He's not. And the marked difference between Ange Postecoglou's Celtic side and Brendan Rodgers' Celtic side is absolutely playing through Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder. Seriously, there's chalk and cheese. And I don't care what anyone says. Brendan Rodgers isn't the manager everyone thinks he is. He plays boring football. You watch Celtic play, you can go for an hour and a half now. Probably put your granny asleep. Put me asleep. If you want you to put your baby to sleep, put him in front of a Celtic game. He'd be asleep within 5 minutes. That's the trick. Somebody said a mother did that once. The father was looking after his son, and he couldn't get the baby to sleep, so he put it in front of Brendan Rodgers Celtic side. The baby was asleep within 5 minutes. That shows how boring Brendan Rodgers plays football. I agree with that 100%, Wayne. Carl Simpson, Donnelly is split down the middle. Englishman, dad for Northern Ireland. Still pick Northern Ireland. If you're born in Northern Ireland, you play for Northern Ireland. We've got Brian Maguire. Big up, Brian. Neto is injured a lot. He is injured a lot, but I still think he's worth the gamble. I really do. Would you be more disappointed or shocked if Ange went to Liverpool for next season? Ange isn't going anywhere. Ange will not leave us until he wins us a trophy. And if he does try to leave, I'm going to go over there personally and chain myself to the door. Me and Philip are, and we won't let him get out of the stadium. We'll change ourselves to the gates at Hotspur way. He won't go out. We'll do a protest and everything. He's not leaving. And why would he want to go to Liverpool anyway? They're getting Xabi Alonso, I think, is going to take over from Klopp next season. But Ange ain't going. Chris says, if Ireland get a win or a draw in the next 2 games, I fear, yeah, that's my point. If we beat Belgium, and I forget who we're playing in the second game a couple of days later, the FAI might look at it and think it's a cheap option. I tell you what, we'll appoint him. So, yeah, I agree with you, Chris. And Chris says, Ange won't go to Liverpool, isn't it? Yeah, Alonso's taken over. He is. Carl says, if Donnelly thinks he's good enough, you cannot deny him that. Also, he's one. I'm not saying that, but I think if you're born in a country or you have a right to play for that country, I think it's easy just to pick playing for England than it is playing for Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Ireland. Because 9 times out of 10, England will qualify for a World Cup or European Championships. Scotland, Wales qualify for some of them. Ireland, we haven't qualified for a major tournament since 2016, the last time we qualified for a major tournament. And I think it's more of an achievement. I think that's my opinion anyway. And I just don't. I think picking England is an easy option. Chris says Donnelly wasn't bought. Yeah, that's true. I do know that, but I'm still got by the thumb and nail, Carl, that if you're born in that country, I think you should play for that country. Michael McDonald, Chris Welsh, if he stays for at least 3 seasons, you will win the Premier League. Yeah, we will. Leslie Crawford says Alonso will have his choice of several top jobs next summer, and Bayern Munich will be one of them as well, by the way. Ange's Liverpool fandom here. Yeah, I know he's a Liverpool fan, but he's not going to leave Tottenham. He will not leave Tottenham. If it does, Michael, I'd be very surprised. And I know you're very hurt by the way he left Celtic. I get that. But don't think he's that type of manager. Look, if he does, I'd be very shocked and very upset and angry if he does leave. And then Carl says, you never know, though. John O'Shea could turn out to be as good as Alonso. You don't know. And he hasn't got the experience. give them a bit of leeway. The FAI will use the cheapest option possible to spend as least money as they can in getting in a new manager. And I just hope they don't. I can see it happening. I really can. And Sanchez, Breatham Green said, how is it an easy option when you've got more competition? It's an easy option because 9 out of 10 times you will qualify for a major tournament. Ireland won't qualify for every tournament. We're lucky to qualify for one. Northern Ireland qualified for a few. Scotland have qualified for a few, but they're going through a golden patch at the moment. Wales will qualify for a few. But if you stick all the home nations and Ireland and you put them all side by side, you could put your house on England qualifying for a World Cup or European Championships 9 out of 10 times. 9 out of 10 times. And that's why I call it an easy option, because you will qualify. You may not win that tournament. You may get to a quarter-final or a semi-final, and a final, which you have done under Gareth Southgate. But it is an easy option, in my view, because you know you're going to qualify. And there may be competition for places. But you know, with Jack Grealish and the Declan Rice are going to be in that team. And I just feel that if you're Irish in any way, shape or form, Ireland should be the team you play for. And I feel getting to a tour, it may be some English players might feel it's an achievement to get there with England, but I think it's more of an achievement to get there with like Ireland or Scotland players probably feel it's a massive achievement. All right, to go to tournaments and not do very well, to be fair. But I just feel it isn't, and I'm going to stick by that. It isn't rude or anything, or disrespectful, but I just feel it is an easier option because 9 times out of 10, you're going to qualify for that major tournament. You're going to finish top or second in your qualifying group. Where Ireland have to struggle and qualify, Scotland the same, have to go through the playoff routes. Wales and Northern Ireland do. So that's the way I'm sitting, and I will stick to my guns on that. And tomorrow night on the Unholy Trinity podcast, I'm going to bring that up, and I'm going to get Philip and Dave's opinion on it. But for me, I think if you play for England, if you've got a choice between Ireland or England or Scotland or Wales, I think it's an easier option to choose England because 9 times out of 10 you're going to qualify for that tournament. Where with the other nations, you're not. So look, I'm not here to offend anyone, but that's just my opinion, and I hope that's all right, Sancho. And then it's a good point to make. How is it easy? And I know we get with the more competition to get into the squad, but Declan Rice and Jack Grealish are the mainstays in that England side. Carl Simpson's players will play for the team that's most likely to get them titles. I know it's just the way it is, but maybe I think a wee bit different. Do you prefer red or brown sauce on an egg? I don't prefer. I like any sauce on my sausage and egg sandwich. Even Mrs. Tron knows that. I don't like any sauce on that. Exactly. Mrs. Tron likes brown sauce. I don't like any sauce. Dan Davenport. Irish FA should go and get Chrissy. Yeah, they should do. I wonder if they will go and get him because he has been sacked. So who knows? And Leslie Crawford, remember Jerry Armstrong scoring against Spain in '82, knocking the host Spain out of the World Cup finals again. Yeah. I used to go to school with Jerry Armstrong's kids when I was small in junior school. And Jerry Armstrong's house used to back onto our house when I was a kid. So, yeah, I've vague memories of Jerry Armstrong actually being in my house when I was a small kid and playing with his children out in the back garden. So, yeah, I do. They went to the same school we went to as well, me and my brother. So, yeah. Brown sauce, says Carl. Anyone who has owned a Celtic season book should qualify to play for. Good point, Michael. Good point. But do you get my point? I know this probably will offend a lot of English fans, me when I say it, and I don't mean to, and that's never my intention, but it's how I see it. As a Scottish fan, Michael, do you get my point where the Scottish players feel it's more of an achievement when you qualify? Because Scotland, like Ireland, don't really qualify for every major tournament. And I really hope you get out the group stages in this European Championships. And we are, you are going to get all the Scottish games live here. We're going to do the England game. So what we're doing for the European Championships is we are doing THFC Till I Die. We'll be doing the 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock games. And then Colin, Bobby and his gang will be doing the 8 o'clock games. We're going to take pics of all the round the 16s, the quarterfinals, and then we're doing the semi-finals jointly, and we're doing the final jointly. So Euro 2024 will be covered. Everyone here. Big up, spot on, Carl. What the hell is wrong with you, Dermo? I just don't like sauce on my egg and sausage sandwich. No sauce. I like it with butter. When you say no sauce, do you mean with butter? Yeah, I do have it with butter. Jerry Armstrong has a house close to Rory McIlroy in Hollywood, County Down. Yeah, he does, Leslie. I may be 50 with 2 short knees and backache and a bad back, but my mum's Irish and I play for them over in. Big up, Wayne. Big up. Look, my father was from. Look, both my parents were from Cork and Wicklow. My adopted parents were from Northern. My mother was from Northern Ireland, from Armagh, and my adopted dad was from Mayo. And my uncle was born in Scotland. So technically, and my granny was Welsh. So technically, I could have played for England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Ireland. And apparently, the Moyle surname is French. So somewhere I've got a French great granny. So I could have played for France. Well, great grandfather could play for France as well. But yeah, technically, I could have played for the whole lot of them, the Holy Trinity. Yeah. Screw you, Dom. No, I'm subscribing. We'll keep you. We will keep getting to the last 4 tournaments. You can struggle. I knew I'd upset you, Carl. I knew I'd upset. Wayne says my ma's from Tipperary. Lovely Tipperary. I like Tipperary. Resubscribed. I can't leave it. Will hurt too much. Oh, thank you. My dad's parents were English and Welsh. Yeah. See, we all have in our history. We can play for every. But I'm sticking by this. I am sticking by this, and I don't mean, as I said, to offend anyone. But I think if you're Irish and you got a chance to play for England, or you're Scottish and you got a chance for England, by picking England is an easier option because you know you're guaranteed to qualify for a major tournament. While doing it with the rest of that home nations and Ireland, I feel is more of an achievement. More to come on this. I'd love to get Big Dave's thoughts on it. Haha, well played, Carl. Yeah, you scared me there, Carl. Don't go. Don't leave me, Carl. I'm going to get out the song now. Don't leave me this way. Yeah, that's a good one. Do not leave me this way. My dad's parents are England. Haha, well played, Carl Simpson. Wayne Bonner is a popular name in Donegal. It is. Packy Bonner as well. And Michael McDonald, are you lot club before country? Look, I'm very proud of my Irishness. I'm very proud to be Irish. I'm very proud of my country. I'm very proud of the flag, the tricolour. I'm very proud of when we achieve something. It means something. I love Tottenham. Tottenham's my second love. My family comes first. My wife, Mrs. Tron, and the 2 boys, they come first. They're my family. Tottenham comes second. Ireland comes third. My country means everything to me. And because I would have had the chance to play for it, I would always pick Ireland. And it means everything to me. Even as a fan, I get so hurt when we were losing under Stephen Kenny. So hurt. I was so angry with the way my team was disrespecting the shirt, disrespecting the effort that fans made going to Aviva, traveling around the world following our great nation. And I can understand players doing that. But me personally, I couldn't do that. And I know Philip would be the same. I know Dave Harris would be the same. You cut our veins, the Irish colours will come out of us. We're that proud of it. And like Carl's very proud of England. I know a lot of people are very proud of their nationality. And so you should be. But if you're a professional footballer and you want to really achieve something, you achieve it with if you got a chance to do it with Ireland, you can sit there and tell your grandkids, I qualified for a major tournament with the Republic of Ireland. Yeah, you can say to your grandkids, I qualified for a World Cup with England. That's a great achievement. But I feel doing it with your country, I think it means more. The Scottish players, the Welsh players, Gareth Bale can say, I've qualified for Wales. I played in the first Welsh squad to qualify for a World Cup since 1958. That meant something. As much as it means to England fans qualifying for every major tournament, it means more when you're doing it with a smaller nation. England have more money. England have better organizations. They have better facilities. We don't in this country. Our soccer, FAI is broke. We don't put money into the Irish soccer scene. And when we get to a major tournament, it means something. And it really means something. And this is what gets me about Jack Grealish and Declan Rice. We were good enough to put them through the system, but we weren't good enough for them to give their heart and soul for the country that helped them get them where they are. And that really hurts me. And as a proud Irishman, as a proud man of my country, I will die for my country. I would lay down my life for my country. I will, if I got picked for Ireland, I would go out there and give 100, 120, 200% to represent that shamrock on my chest, because it means something. It means everything. It means everything to represent, to go out and sing your national anthem. And for them two players to think, do you know what? Fuck this. I'm going across the water. They are traitors. They don't give a shit because they know they're going to get guaranteed to qualify for tournaments. Work at it. Fucking work at it and qualify with the country that's helped you put you where you are. And this is why it means more when smaller nations qualify for tournaments, because it means something. And I don't mean to upset anyone. England qualifying for a tournament. I know you all will be excited about 2024. I'm devastated we're not there. I would love us to get there. But when we do get to a tournament, I know I'm going to savor it a bit more because we've worked at it. We've put our heart and soul into it. And that's what it means to me. And look, I know I've probably offended every English fan in England, so I apologize for that. But it's how I feel. It's just how I feel. Dan Dermot F1 breaking news. Horner cleared from what? Yeah, he was, and good on you. I'm glad as well, Dan. Don't worry. Tomorrow, Dan, we have a preview. Me and Chris are doing one between 10 and 1. We're going to pre-record it and we're going to put it out for you, Dan, on the F1 channel. And don't forget, Friday we have practice 11 to 12, practice 2 from 3 to 4, and then Friday we have qualifying from 5 to 6, and then the race on at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Michael McDonald, superb. Team might be guaranteed to get through, but getting in squad is harder. Yeah, I agree with you that getting to the squad is harder, but once you're in that squad, you are more guaranteed to qualify for a tournament. Colin, there, chest out. See, the bit Michael Collins comes out of me. See, the Michael Collins is in me. It just comes out. It just comes out. True, Dermot, well said. Yes, says Michael McDonald. Yeah, if you can send me to that in there. My Irish is not as great as it used to be, Colin. So yeah, send me to that in English if you can. It really is. When I was younger, I could speak fluent Irish, not a problem. But as I'm getting older, it's getting harder and harder and harder. But yeah, I agree with you. And all together now, big up, Michael. Well, listen, I'm going to leave it there, lads. I need to go and do something I need to do. There was a watch along tonight, but no watch along. But don't worry, guys, we are back tomorrow. We are back tomorrow. Look, okay, MC Nemesis on. You want to talk? You want to talk at people, but not to people. It's how I feel. It's how I am bred. It's how I am what goes through my veins. And I get and I'm not going to apologize for being passionate about my country. I'm not going to apologize for standing on a soapbox and saying how I feel about the country I love, about the national team that I love, about the players that put on that jersey. I'm not going to apologize for that. And I feel so strongly about this. I feel so passionate about where Irish soccer is going at the moment that I get so frustrated and so angry at the way that our soccer is being run in this country. And it hurts. It really hurts. It does hurt. And when I get into that train of thought or that train of how I feel and how it comes across, it's because I'm passionate about my country. I'm passionate about what I believe in. I'm passionate about what I want for my country, what I want for my football organization, what I want our players to do. Anyone would be the same. Brazilians, Argentinian, English. And I will not back down and I will not apologize for saying how I say things. I refuse to, because that is what it means to me. Really does. But thank you for the comment anyway. Thank you so much. And please hit the like button, subscription button if you want to stay. Leslie says a lot of debating around the new stadium being built in Belfast for Euro 2028. It would only be used for 5 games at max, costs up to 200 million, and then it'd be handed over to GA. Yeah, I know. We are going to talk about that tomorrow night in our new podcast, by the way, Leslie. So that is one of the questions I've got. Wayne Bonner, absolutely nothing wrong with pride and passion in what you believe and where you're from. Big up, Dermot, and a fist pump. Fist pump to you too, Wayne Bonner. Bang. There you go. Chris is saying, MC Nemesis, who are the two people? Exactly. Evening, Dermot. Preach, Dermot. Preach. Yeah, I'm telling you, the Michael Collins in me comes out. Oh, yeah. That's it. That's it. We'll sing the soldier song with cheering, rousing chorus around the blazing fires with thongs. The starry heavens or us impatient for the coming fight as we wait for the morning light. Do you know what? I love our anthem. I really do. And I've played it before. I used to know it in Irish, but I love it. We are soldiers. We as fans are soldiers to our national teams. We're all part of the English army, the Irish army, of going into battle to win a game. And I don't care what anyone says. I want to be England more than anything on the 7th of September. England fans want to be Ireland more than anything on the 7th of September. But by God, I will be so up for that game. If I can't go, there's a watch along here. And I will be as passionate. I will be as more. You won't see me as passionate as I will be that night. But big up. I should have stood up and put my hand on my heart singing the first part of our Irish anthem. That's what I should have done. Chris says, great stream as always. Take care. Chris, I'll text you later with the time tomorrow. So English translation. And Leslie says the GA own the side and the contribute 15 million plus the Irish government. Yeah, that should go more into Irish soccer. But look, that's what we're going to debate tomorrow night, Leslie. But big up, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscription button as well. No. Come on now. Don't take the. I am a descendant of Michael Collins' brother, Johnny. Maybe we're related. But I am, due my father's side of it, I am related to Michael Collins down through my family tree. I'm very proud of it. I'm very, very proud of being related to the greatest Irishman that ever lived, who rode around Dublin with £10,000 on his head and avoided everyone, by the way, and ran a guerrilla war on the back of a bike. It's not fair play to him. But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscription button. And if you do, please also hit the QR code as well, if you can, for 10% off as I just lose it. Where is it now? Anyway, there you go. Hit the QR code for 10% off for Wrath Energy, official partner of THFC. The official partner, use code THFCTRD for 10% off. And then one more question. Use on Ansett and Dermot Emperor. don't have to prove you to anything. Don't have to prove it. Don't believe me? It's down to you. I don't have to prove anything. Anyway, thank you all for watching, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and also, come on, you Spurs in Big Ange. We